What's up, Attack MMA? I'm your host, Zach Weicker, and today we got a very special guest. He's a professional fighter with an 8-3 record, and we'll be fighting at UFC Fight Night on March 16th. Please welcome Charalampos Grigoriou. How are you doing, man?
Good man, how are you?
I'm doing great. And before we get into the fight, I kind of like to give you a quick introduction, kind of like to let the fans know a little bit about your background. So, when did you first fall in love with the sport of MMA?
Um, let's start how I started. I started from 6 years old with karate. So I got my black belt, and then I moved to kickboxing and Muay Thai, uh, and uh, and then MMA. So I started fighting professionally though at the age of 19.
Very nice. And of course, you moved to the United States to get a better grasp of the MMA scene and to enhance your abilities and skills. But you moved from Cyprus. So, what are the difficulties and challenges from moving to the United States?
Uh, Look, at the beginning was hard, especially in the fight game, uh, because in Cyprus it's not the same level. Kickboxing, yes, and Muay Thai, we have high level kickboxing and Muay Thai in Cyprus. But when I got here, the problem was the wrestling and the grappling at the beginning. But then I I had no choice but to learn. Because all of my teammates, most of them are wrestlers. So I learned from them, and now uh, you can count me as a wrestler.
That's great, man. And of course, on Cyprus, you're one of the only UFC fighters to ever be signed to the UFC that's from Cyprus. So, how important is it for you to represent your country in the cage?
Actually, I'm the second Cypriot in the UFC. Uh, Costas Philippou was 10 years ago, but now I'm the only one in the UFC. It's very important because you have to represent your country and your people. Um, and that gives me energy and the will to do it. But from the other side, you have the pressure, of your country, because you have to represent them and make them proud. But uh, yeah, they support me, and they give me a lot of energy.
You mentioned Costa Philippou. So, how much of an inspiration has he been to you?
Um, Look, I'm trying to continue the the legacy. Uh, yes, back then was different. It's not the same. Uh, but uh, Costas had a very good run in the UFC. He was the number six. Um, so now I'm the new generation now, and after me, I wish to have more people from Cyprus to join the UFC. And that's a good opportunity that I'm fighting in the UFC, because I want to show to the world like that we have very good fighters in Cyprus too. Um, but yes, we try to make our country proud.
Definitely. And what would you say the country of Cyprus needs to do to help enhance their MMA scene?
In Cyprus, what they need is more um, to to pay attention more in other sports, because in Cyprus soccer is the most popular. Everybody pay attention in soccer. But now with me, the UFC, more people they know about MMA, and that's good. And I think that's a good opportunity uh, for the people in Cyprus and the whole country to pay more attention in MMA and to be focused on this sport. Um, so we can have more UFC fighters from Cyprus in the future.
That would be great to get more people in the UFC. And you touched on it a little before, but how would you describe the love you get from your people back home?
Yeah, the love uh is it's crazy because they knew me when I was in Cyprus, but now uh the whole Cyprus know me, and I'm kind of a celebrity in Cyprus. Um, yeah, they support me a lot, especially especially when I have a fight, the message that I get. Um, and I'm trying to make them proud. And because in every fight they have watch parties in Cyprus and they stay until late uh, because we have the 7 hour difference. So I'm trying to make them proud because they show me the support, their love, and yes, I want to make them proud.
That would be great, man. And you have a great opportunity to make them proud with your upcoming fight. And of course, fighting for the UFC is probably a dream come true for you. So how excited are you for this fight?
I'm very excited. I mean, I wish my fight was this Saturday. Can't wait. Um, was was my dream. And I remember myself when I was in Cyprus. I was watching the videos on YouTube from the UFC, and I was visualize myself to step in this cage, and I made it happen. So March 16th, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna make a statement.
And your opponent is Chad Anheliger. So what are your thoughts on his fighting style and strengths?
He's tough. He can take punches, but I don't think he can take my punches. And I like him because he's tough. Um, but I have no choice but to finish him. Or if I don't finish him, I think I'm gonna dominate the whole fight.
And of course, you mentioned your striking there, and that's definitely one point you believe you stand out compared to your opponent. But is there any other strengths or abilities of yours that make believes that you stand out compared to him?
Yeah, I mean, I know that I can beat him everywhere, man. I use my striking a lot because I'm a striker, but many people they try to um take me down or to wrestle me, but they couldn't. Uh yes, I'm using my strength, but I mean, I'm very good in wrestling and grappling, and you have to see that um, um, I train with the best fighters in the world. So, um, yeah, I mean, whoever's tried to take me down, he's very welcome. Especially on the ground, I'm very confident. I'm very good. I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Uh, but yes, I can fight everywhere, man.
That's great. And with that in consideration, stylistically, how do you think this fight pans out?
I'm gonna finish you. I'm gonna, because six of my 8 wins is knockout. Um, I'm gonna try to keep this knockout streak. Um, and I don't even try like to knock them out. It comes by itself. So yes, as I said, either I'm gonna finish him, or if he's tough enough, I'm gonna dominate the whole fight.
Would you be disappointed if you didn't get the finish?
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm going for the bonus too.
That would be nice. And originally you were supposed to fight Kazama. So with this change in opponents, does that switch your training camp at all?
To be honest, not really. Yes, but it wasn't that like crazy. And after Kazam, I have a different opponent too, and he got injured. So Chad, he's my third one. Um, so um, Yeah, I didn't do any crazy changes. I was in shape. I trust my fight camp, my preparation, and I'm very confident in any style.
For sure. And in general, how's your training camp for this fight?
Crazy, crazy, and that's why I wanna fight as soon as possible because I I want the fight camp to be done. Because it's been like 4 months, man. 4 months, non-stop, every day. Uh, so we are almost there, 3 weeks out. Um, and can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Of course, and you train a lot MMA. So how would you describe your experience there and what are your relationships like with your coaches and training partners?
We are like a family in my gym. Uh, um, so we train together. If we need any help, everybody is willing to help. Uh, if one guy has a fight, everybody's there to help him. Um, so we are like a family with the coaches, with my teammates. We go together. We go together. We take off together. Uh, we are we are because most of us we have fights now, March, April, or February. So we train together. We are getting ready, and I think I think that's the point of the gym to be like a family. We not just train together. I mean, I go out to you know. So this is what I love, man. This is what I love, and I know that they have my back. And if I need something, they're gonna be there for me.
That's amazing. And one of your teammates, Marab, got the big win last week. So how would you rate his performance?
Oh, great, crazy performance. Merab. Um, he's gonna be champion soon. Um, yeah, I mean, Merab, it's one guy that he inspiring us. Because it reminds me myself. He came to the US. He used to work as in the constructions. I remember myself, I used to work as a barista when I came in the States, and then slowly, you go up. So I have huge respect for him, and it's one guy that you look at and you're like, he did it, you know. So he make his dream comes true, and full respect for him, man. Full respect.
That's great. And another one of your teammates, Aljamain Sterling, is making his featherweight debut at UFC 300. So how do you think he will do at that new weight class?
He's gonna do great, man. Aljo, he's big. I mean, he's big. I count myself as a big guy, but Aljamain, he's bigger than me. So he's gonna do great in featherweight division, I think, and I think he's better for him because he was carrying so much weight. Uh, and can't wait for his fight too, man. He's gonna do great.
Yeah, should be some great fights coming up for Law. But back to you and your previous fight was at the Dana White Contender Series. You weren't in there for long as you got him out there in a minute, but how would you describe that victory of getting your hand raised and winning the contract?
Um, Look, I had no other choice but to get the win. Um, Even in my interviews, I said I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna finish him in the first round because I know my skills and I know how much I want it. All right, how much I sacrificed before to get here. So I knew it was a unique experience. Um, so I made my dream come true. Uh, because 7 years ago, I was in Cyprus fighting in the basements, and now I'm in the UFC. So I'm like, I have one opportunity, and there is no other way. Um, the feeling was unbelievable. The feeling, the love from Cyprus, because then after the fight, I went to Cyprus. They are waiting for me at the airport, like TV channels. Um, Crazy. The UFC crew was there for the documentary. Was unbelievable.
That's amazing. And you did look great in that fight. So how did you rate your performance?
Uh, I can say big. Look, as Dana White said, we didn't see a lot. uh, um, I'm gonna rate my performance 8 because I know I can do more. Um, but yeah, you're gonna see my performance now on March 16th. If if he lasts after one round.
We'll see. And of course, you mentioned Dana White there, and on the contender series, you got the opportunity to meet him. So, how's that interaction like for you to meet the boss?
Um, I mean, was crazy, and because I was watching Dana White on TV, and then I met him in person. Uh, we talked. Um, was a unique experience, man. Now I have to get used to it, though.
For sure, man. And that fight was in Vegas. This fight will be in Vegas. So, what's your thoughts on the PI and the Apex?
Look, many people they were like, "Oh, you don't want to fight in the arena, or whatever." I'm like, "Of course I want to fight in the arena, but I think it's good for me to fight at the Apex first to get the feeling. Yes, I fought for the contendership at the Apex, but UFC fight is different. So I wanna, I wanna get used to it first and then go to the big arenas. Uh, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Any big arenas in mind that you'd like to fight at one day?
Madison Square Garden, that's the goal on November, I think. Uh, because I live in New York. That's the goal. I wanna go there March 16, finish him. I wanna have one more fight on May, finish him, and then fight in Madison Square Garden.
That would be great, man. That's the mega. And is there any dream fight that you'd like to have at your time with the UFC?
Yeah, with Cody. With Cody or Dominic Cruz. I wanna fight a veteran because as I said, I was watching them on YouTube when I was in Cyprus, and now I'm gonna fight them. That's crazy to me. With all the respect.
Yeah, those would be some great fights. And my final question for you is, what are your goals inside and outside of the cage for 2024?
Say it again.
What's your goals inside and outside of the cage for 2024?
So the goal for 2024 is to have 3 fights in the UFC, 3 finishes, 3 bonus. Um, Outside of the UFC, um, I wanna I wanna buy a house here in New York, and yes, and then I wanna have a family. So that's the goal.
That's great. Is there anything you want to plug or shout out before we head out of here?
To who? 21?
To anyone, if any sponsors, social media.
Yeah. So yes, I wanna shout out to my sponsors, the Flash Motor Technology, um, We Capture Media, Xenos Construction, Joanna Foundation, Mediterranean Foods, um, and the Naxhead pub. So the support from them is very important because without them, I wouldn't be here today. And th I want to thank them. Like, yeah, they are part of the Ferocious family.
That's amazing, man. Charalampos, I want to thank you for coming on, and I wish you the best luck in your upcoming fight. Folks, that'll be all for today. Until next time, peace.
Thank you, man. Thank you.